Hey guys, we're back. So, today, or not today, but this episode, I guess, because it's all the same day. Been filming a bunch of these all together. We are going to work on our military science. We did the research. We can now make military science. We can also make armor-piercing rounds and grenades. We're already making walls, so we can make that happen too. The other thing we're going to do is, because we can't go straight down with this bus because we're gonna run into these cliffs. We're looking at turning here and going this way. We may have to fill in some of this with landfill, but I'm not too worried about that. Like I say, we're going to probably scrap this whole thing once we get further along and redo it anyway. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn this main bus and we're going to come this way with it. And then what we're going to do is this area right in here, we are going to make our grenades, we're going to make our armor-piercing rounds, and we're going to make our military science. Since you need armor-piercing rounds, grenades, and walls for military science anyway. So let's go ahead and take a look-see real quick where we want to run this thing. We don't want to go... Oh, fish. Grab the fish. Grab the fish. There we go. We don't want to go all the way up through the lake, but if we have to go through a little bit of this, we can do that. So let's plan for something like right about there. Let's see what that looks like down here. Okay, so that'll work. Right? And then one, two, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2. Now that should bring us down to each of those, if we did our math right. Well, not our math, but our visuals, right? Hey, looking good, looking good. Oops. There we go. And then that'll turn us, and we'll come this way. There we go, right? So we'll just head right on out that way. So I did some head scratching and I came up with this kind of plan for our military science, and I think we can fit this in right here, and if we need to expand some more, we can expand some more. Let's move this up a little bit, right about there. So what this is going to require, and we'll let these guys go ahead and do their thing. So much nicer with bots, even if they're nanobots and they get destroyed. So much nicer with bots. So here's what we got going. If we look at this, for a regular magazine round, it's a 1 second crafting time. For a armor piercing round, it's 3 second crafting time. So for every 3 of these, we make 1 of these. So 1, 2, 3 for every 1 of these. So we're going to bring in iron plates down the center, right? Because that's what these require. And then these require iron plates, or copper plates, steel plates, and magazines. So the magazines will come in and they'll go on the outside of this outside belt, right? The copper, we need much more of the copper than we do the steel. So if we do this and we bring in a solid line of copper, half of a line of steel, and half of the line will be magazines, and we bring that same thing over here, where we do a full line of copper, half a line of steel, half a line of magazines, and then we'll dump those onto the belt here. And since we're going to be using those to make our military science, and we're going to do our military science up here, rather than having them exit down here and go on the bus and what have you, we can bring them up here, we can put some in a chest, we can use the rest for military science. So let's go ahead and bring our bus down to where we want it to be. Which is going to be, you know, past that. Okay, and then we can worry about bringing them up. So, while we're doing that, while we're waiting on that, we got our science going down here. All our labs are filled. We're looking pretty good. Let's go ahead and make our next choices. So, I did some choices and picked some things already. We grabbed some of these higher end sciences. We grabbed the automobile. We grabbed oil processing, we grabbed the automation too, we grabbed trains, things like that. So we've already got some of that stuff. So let's see what we're going to take next here. Flammables is going to eventually give us flamethrowers, which is, like I say, one of my favorite things in the game for biter destruction. At least until we get the rockets and nukes. We are going to need melting train stops to set up automated train routes. Is that? Yeah, okay, so that's our regular stops, and then we get our lights, our rail signals. So if we're going to do trains, which we've got trains researched, we're going to need to have our signals. So let's do signals. That's fuel refining to make solid fuel. We're not really there yet. Let's do fluid wagon so we can transport oil. We're going to want plastics, because plastics is going to free up, you know, some of our other sciences and things like that. And it's part of a refining, so we can get started on that. And along with that comes sulfur processing, which is going to give us our sulfuric acid, which will allow us to do our uranium mining and things like that. Let's do bulk rail loaders. That's not a SpaceX mod, that's just something I added. It will allow us to load our trains faster. So we're gonna use that. We're gonna try it out. I've never used it. I thought I'd try it out. So we'll add that up there. We really don't need the extra tool belt right now. I don't know that we need it to do much. Well, sure, we'll throw it on there. What the heck? I don't. I'm torn on nanobots because it takes a lot of nanobots to take down a cliff. Might be nice to have have the ability to remove a cliff if we need it. Sure, we'll take that for now. So that gives us our sciences that we're going to go ahead and start doing now. As we work through these, we'll get ready. We're not ready for trains yet anyway, so signals, it'd be nice to have signals, but by the time we're ready for signals, we'll bang through all of that anyway. So there we go. Because I mean, you'll see how fast this research goes now that we've got this big thing on it. I added some more production for science, so we've got 4 and 4. These make 2, but they make them every 10 seconds. These make 1, but they make it every 5 seconds. So 5 seconds, you're making 2 of them every 10 seconds and 2 of them every 10 seconds. So even amounts of those should do us just fine. So let's go ahead and start working on what we're going to need to bring up for this. So we're going to need a full line of copper, right? So copper is going to come up there. Actually, we don't need to. I think we can get away with underground belting the copper without having to make a break in our line. Yes, we can. That's awesome. So one there, one after it to balance it out. Just, I don't know if it's really necessary, but I'm a little bit anal that way sometimes, I guess. There we go. So there's that. We're going to need iron coming in. So this one we are going to have to make space for. So it's going to come here. So that's going to put our here. So we're going to want to break here. And now you see how fast that was for that research? The research is going to kind of fly through now. Especially if we keep our numbers for our production up for it, we should have no problems at all. Alright, so now this is going to put on the outside, so we're going to want to have our iron come into the inside of this. So what I think we're going to do is this. If we have it come here, now we could do this for compactness. We could do it either way. We needed to come into that side of the belt, right? So let's do this. That means our is going to be there, our splitter. So splitter here. Iron will come up there. Oh, actually, we want to come here. Right? Yeah. So, splitter here. Brake's going to be there. We'll do the same thing here that we did here. So we'll have our steel plates come up one side, our magazines go on the other side, our copper go on that line, and our steel and our iron go on that line. That should cover us. Now we just got to put power to it. Put here and here. And I guess there, just to bring it in, and then we do here. Yeah, we're gonna have to put one here and here, here and here. I think that is everything. Is that everything covered? Yeah, it's not the prettiest electrical, but it's electrical and it works. All right. So let's get rid of these, and let's see if it works. Right, so that's going to put there, and then that's going to put on the outside, and it's going to go into there, and then that's going to put on the inside, and there you go, it's making one. Yep, and then that'll put on the other side, and there we go. And now we're off to the races with our armor-piercing rounds. So, let's put a crate so that we can start collecting these, because we're going to want to replace our stuff out in our guns. We're going to want to start replacing it with armor piercing. Even though we've got, you know, rounds out there, we can bring those rounds in, we can put them into this system and recycle them, and just keep right on going. So that gives us our armor piercing. Now, the next thing we're going to want is we are going to want grenades. Now, grenades take 5 plate and 10 coal. So, we're going to want to bring coal down, and we're going to want to bring plate up or in, or what have you. So my thought process was this. We're already bringing plate in here for our turrets, and we're not producing turrets constantly. So if we pull off of this line, it's not going to really starve our production of turrets. So then we just need to bring down coal. And for right now, we're just going to pick it off of the coal line that's coming down. We're going to eventually have to start worrying about how starved we are for coal. We're going to have dedicated lines just for certain things like the power plant, which we should be fairly okay with the power plant, because the power plant picks off before anything else does. So if we have to, we can come over here, break this line, and the power plant be the only thing that gets fuel to keep us running, so we can get everything fixed and what have you. Right now we're not relying on lasers for defense, so we don't need power out to our guns. But when we start relying on lasers for defense, we have to make sure our power stays working. By then we hopefully will start to have solar and accumulators, and eventually nuclear, so we won't have to worry about it. Once we hit nuclear power, we should be just fine. We'll just keep building more nuke plants. So now we're going to need to make grenades. And grenades are 8-second crafting time. And it's 10 coal, 5 plate. So I think we're going to make... These are what? These are a 3-second crafting time. So 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. We're making 18 at a time right now, right? No, 3, 6, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're making 6 every 3 seconds. Grenades are every 8 seconds. So 3, 6, 9. So we're making 6 and 6 is 12. We're making 18 for every 1 grenade. But that's okay because some of them are going here. So let's say we're making 9 for every grenade that we make. So we probably want to be making, oh, I don't know. Let's make 4 of them for now, and we'll see how that keeps up as far as what we really want to do. So we got our coal coming down. We got our iron coming across. So let's do this. Let's come down here. And then let's come this way. It's late in the day, early in the morning. I'm not mathing so good right now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So which do we need more of? We need more coal. I wonder if it tells you the speed. I can't remember. I don't know. Doesn't matter. I just was trying to see what the speed of the inserters are, one versus the other. Now, when we start getting into the fast inserters, which we could put them down here, but I'm not going to worry about it right now. But the difference in speed between the fast inserters and the regular inserters will become a factor when we start worrying about, 10 of this versus 5 of the other. As far as what we're trying to put into an assembler at a time. But for right now, I am not going to lose too much sleep over it. Again, like I say, it's kind of late in the day as it is already. I'm not wanting to get too crazy over it. All right. See, and we're pouring through that science now pretty quick. Alright, so this is going to be grenades. There we go. Now we just got to power them. And here, and here, and here, and here, and here. And here, and here. And yes, it's a jumbled mess. But that's because of this one here. I guess we could do this. Right? Will that pick that one up? No, see, it won't pick it up. But we can do that and keep it less of a jumbled mess, I suppose. And if we want it to, let's make it both sides of the belt, because we're only inserting on one side right now. There we go. So now we got it on both sides of the belt. It doesn't really matter, I guess. But we got those going, and we could add another one down here, and we could add some more here if we, we'll see how well we're keeping up once we start to use all of this for our science, which is the next thing we want to look at. So for our black science, our military science, we need 1, 1, and 2. So for every 1 grenade and every 1 armor piercing round, we need 2 walls. Well, we're already making walls. We're not making that many, but we're making walls. And what we can do is we can come on over here. Get this out of the way. We'll get this out of the way. And we're going to put in a second factory for each of these. Oops. The only reason I got 2 of them there is because I put it in another chest. We don't really need that right now. We're gonna go this way. And then back, because we need those bricks. We got to be careful that this doesn't starve our system. Oops. Actually, there. There we go. So now we will get a wall on each side of the belt, or on each of these belts, and then that'll give us a full belt across. Right? Right. So, how many are in here? We're going to have to go store those someplace out of the way. For right now, we're just going to store them right here. Oops. You know what? Let's do that. Just to get them out of our way. Alright, there it is. So now, there we go. Alright. Do. There we go. Alright, so now we're making walls. These walls we will move over here with all the rest of our stuff that we're storing over here, and we'll get this all organized in a few. I'll do that. We'll worry about that off camera, but just to keep everything consolidated in one area. Until such a time as we get requester and provider chests and storage chests with our logistics network. We're just trying to keep everything in one spot where we know where it's at, and it's easy enough to come get it. And you see how fast we're blowing through the science now. So it's good that we're starting our military science, because it's going to start being a factor. Now, since we have slowly reduced our ore patch here, we can start taking some of these outlier poles and bringing them a little closer so that it gives us some room up. And there's another one that we can take. We're still doing okay though. I mean, we're over a million on ore. It's just, you know, the patch is getting smaller. But, you know, that's okay. We're going to be expanding. So now let's go ahead and bring our walls over. To where we're making our military science. There we go. So we got that. We got that. And we got our grenades. Alright, now military science is a 10 crafting speed for 2. So it's the same as the other one. So if we make 4 of these, right, we'll be keeping up with the same amount as the greens. So we're gonna want 4 and is it okay, so it's 2 walls. So the walls are gonna want their own belt, and then the other 2 we can put on a single belt. So let's do this. Let's go Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll probably have to move those grenades. Back this up. That's okay, because we'll use those grenades. So if we come... And it's okay that we are on one side with this, because this will eventually double up with something else on that line to feed our what you call it, our you know, the thing, the lab. Like I say, a little tired. So if we do that and we do that, right, then we can bring one up with alright, you know what? Let's do this. Let's back this up. We're gonna go up and over and meet up at the top here. Right? And then come over. And meet up there. So that's going to give us our 2. And then this will give us our walls. And then that'll give our science down to our labs. And then this is black science. And then we want power. Right. Right. Okay. Let's see if that's going to produce for us, and then once we know it's producing right, we'll go get some more belts and we'll bring them down there. And it looks like that is going to give us what we want. Now the only thing we're going to be waiting on right now is going to be our armor piercing rounds, because we're picking off to fill these boxes as well. Once these crates are filled, we'll be okay. And if we need to, which it looks like we might, how are we doing? Alright, so what we are waiting on, it would appear, maybe not. We may want to put in another, just to have them, another set. Question is, how are we going? Okay, well, we can shorten that. That's how we'll do it. Okay. So here and here, here and here. Get that pole out of the way. And then these are going to be there and there. Alright, we need some more belts. Let's grab our belts real quick. Now see, we blew through an entire queue of science already. We'll back this down a little further. Right? So then that'll be there, that'll be there. Put one there, one there. And then that should give us that. And then if we put power down here, 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 and we tell that. Alright. So now we won't be we shouldn't be waiting on our magazines. That should help us. And if we find that this is still a little slow, we can add another set of assemblers for our armor piercing. Like I say, once that catches up, we should be all right. And there's a few going through. It's just we gotta wait for these to catch up. So let's go ahead and pick our next sciences, shall we? So, alright, well, we want rail signals. We want explosives, because explosives are going to give us cliff explosives, which is what we really want to be able to do for the cliffs. How much the cliff explosives is going to cost us? 200. We'll go ahead and take it. Going to wait on this one. Red circuits, we don't need them right now. We got that up there. We got that up there. Lab speed. We're cooking along lab speed right now. I don't think we really need to worry about lab speed. Stronger explosives. Batteries. That's going to give us our accumulators. Is going to lead to lasers. We're going to go ahead and start researching that. We'll start researching that. We'll start researching that. Concrete. We're gonna start researching concrete. It would be nice to be able to start laying down some surfaces. So that'll get us going. How are we looking now? Looking a little better. We're building up some armor piercing rounds. Like I say, as that goes along, you know what, we can probably let's pick these up. We can probably go ahead and add another I think we'll be okay. I think we're going to be able to be, with the addition of the other assemblers. I think we'll be able to keep up with that. Obviously, we are so far. That'll give us a little faster production on those. So we'll grab these crates and plop these crates down. And since it already went through the effort, we'll go ahead and put those back in. That'll keep us going, because we need to let this build up anyway. We need to let the military science build up. And we need to go ahead and bring that down. Now, since our connection is all the way over here, and we don't really need it to be right now, let's look at doing this. Let's take that out. How are we keeping up? Well, our greens are what's really kind of going now. Are they not keeping up with the reds? I would have thought the reds and the greens would have kept the same, because these are only making one at a time. These are making two at a time. They take twice as long as these, but they make twice as many. Whatever. We're not gonna worry about it right now. I'm not gonna math it all out right now. Alright. What I am gonna do right now though is we want this line to start accepting our next science. So we're gonna bring that up. We're going to respect our bus. 1, 4, right? So that's going to come down, Alright, and that will feed into our next belt for sciences. What do I gotta do? Give you guys another daggone assembler down here. Well, what we could do is we could put in those assembler 2s, and that would speed that up. We are busting through the science pretty quick, and we're not making very much, so it's not surprising that you know, our manufacturing is not keeping up with our research. Something's going to fall behind something else. That's just the way it is. And we'll just live with it. So there it is. We are now making military science. And it's building up over here, so that's not, you know, I think we've got it going okay. And even though it's, you know, having problems keeping up, we've already gone through 2. We're just fine. What do we got here? See? They don't like that radar. And the problem is, they're spitters, which means they can stand off far enough that the guns can't shoot them. And that's what I was worried about. See, that's what I'm concerned about the cliffs, is that the cliffs are going to be problematic. We're going to have to stay back from the cliffs. Far enough that they'll have to come to us. There we go. So we got more biter bases have moved into the area. That's what I say. These are going to expand. It's just going to be a way of life. We're just going to have to not rely on the cliffs and not get close to them with our construction. So we'll go up here, and we got enough stuff that we can go up there right now. We're going to go up here and take care of these guys. This is our land, damn ya. This is not yours. You don't belong here. You need to leave. So turn that off. Grab our ammo. Turn it on. Turn it off. Grab our ammo. Turn it on. And then put our ammo in. Off. Are we out of ammo? We are out of ammo. Go over here, get our ones over here. And we're going to move these a little closer. We're going to put that right up on that worm. See if it takes that worm out. Let's see if we can't help it. There we go. It cost us a little bit, but we're okay. Alright. Put him down. Let that fix him. I mean, we did kind of go up there unprepared. We didn't have walls. We didn't have enough ammo. But we took care of the problem. And there's that turret that I said is sitting up there. Yeah, you can shoot at us. Now he has no ammo. And I don't know why. I mean, they're enemy turrets. They shoot at us. Why don't they shoot at them? I don't know. But they don't shoot at the biters. I think they should shoot at the biters too. But that's just me. Alright. So that took care of that. got him out of our hair for a little bit. Let's get down here and get a healing pack. I think we got some fish that we can donate in exchange. Fix that guy. There we go. Alright, now we're all healed back up. We're gonna have to do some fishing and stuff like that. See how this is doing. There we go. So now we got military science in here on the other belt. We can put one more thing on that belt on the opposite side of this coming in when we get our blue science, and have that good to go. We're gonna have to push past these cliffs and just make a wall, I think, but that's okay because now we've started making armor-piercing ammo. We'll build up a bunch of it. Get these crates stocked. We'll go through and we'll change it out in our turrets, and get everything changed over to armor-piercing rounds for all of our base, and that'll help us out some too. And that's what we'll start carrying. We'll eventually change these chests out to large chests. Right now we're just going to keep them this, well, I guess it really doesn't matter. They're not going to fill any faster or any slower. It's just going to fill longer. And we've already got a backup here for our science. So we're okay. We'll just put large chests in there. We're not going to put a second set in because it would tax our system and we wouldn't have enough. We can let that just run. So there we go, guys. We set up another science, and we set up manufacturing for our military stuff. We had grenades. We could have probably grenaded them too. We should have probably thought about doing that, but whatever. But we do need to think about the fact that we are close along these cliffs. We probably shouldn't have built right up to the cliffs. That may come back to haunt us. But hopefully, very soon we'll push back away from those cliffs. And I think we'll just come a line right down here, and just make it a solid wall. Because we will start making explosives for cliffs, which is going to take explosives and empty barrels. We're not making explosives yet. Explosives require sulfur, which requires us to start tapping into some of these crude oil locations. So that's the other thing we got to think about, where we're going to tap into crude oil at. So we're probably very close to going into a certain amount of military expansion. I'm going to look at this map off camera and kind of figure out where we want to expand in, because there's oil here, there's oil here, and there's oil here. So we want one of these oil patches. We're going to need one of these oil patches. We're pretty close to getting a car, so we may have to just drive around. But I think this is going to be our easiest one to take, is this here, because if we cut it here and we cut it here, they can't come down onto this peninsula. So if we've got it cut here and we've got it cut off here and we wipe out these bases here, that's going to give us, I don't really care about this iron, there's not much of it there, but it will give us this coal, and it'll give us this crude oil. And if we wanted to, we could come straight up and cut this off and just give ourselves some more space. So that would let us expand way out here. I would like, at some point, to start thinking about some of this iron. I mean, we're okay with the iron right now, but we are going to want to have to think about it down the road. Now that would be very nice. So maybe that's what we'll do. We'll start expanding in this direction. We'll grab this oil and then we'll start expanding in this direction so that ultimately we can grab some of this stuff. We'll see. We'll see where we go. Alright guys, there it is. One of the things we got, I think we can even make it now if we had, yep, we'd have to make the engine units, but we can make a car now. Now, engine units, yep, we can make the engine units, and then we could make a car and we could do some exploring. So maybe that's what we will do the next episode. We'll build ourselves a car, we'll go out here, we'll look at this map, we'll see what our possible expansion is. We'll explore this coastline a little bit. We'll explore down here, see if there's another part of the coastline here or something, and we'll go from there. I could go back and look at the preview map, but I don't want to do that. I want to go ahead and explore. So we'll check it out from there. But anyway, there it is, guys. We got that stuff going. Next time we go exploring. All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye.